everyone's just texting me about it. It's like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah. It is kind of
Oh
crazy.
yeah, what day is it? It's the day. It's Saturday
3 days
before the election.
polls.
Yeah,
I know.
that's gonna be pretty nuts.
I already voted.
I voted as well.
Well, yeah, I voted. Yeah, of course.
I didn't.
It was
I
great.
threw away the sticker because I voted in the mail.
I really wanted the Spanish sticker, and they didn't have it. That was.
Do you vote in person?
Yeah,
Oh,
I went in person.
I went early.
oh, I
It's
did it
different in
mail
Texas.
And they had a bunch of them. They had so many different stickers, and I was like, "Where's Yo Vote?" Because I want to do it. I like
Yeah.
the Spanish one.
Got support.
Mine just says, I voted, y'all.
Oh,
It has y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine didn't even have any. It was just
Oh, it's just a boring one?
or it was like vaguely not. It wasn't just the standard one, which
Yeah.
I would love. I love like the emblematic one, where you're like, that's the one. But it was just like it looked like they got it at Target.
Well, it would have felt silly, like, okay, I got the sticker, I'm at home, and I put it on my shirt, and then I go out of the house. Like, it's like I put the sticker on if I'm already
Yeah.
out of the house.
I still have my I didn't take it off the wax backing, TBH. It's just in my room, so I might break it out later next week.
Little
And just
memento.
be like, hey guys, I just vote. Wait, did it happen last week?
Wait.
Yeah.
I had it on my shirt, and then I put it on my Dodgers cap, because the Dodgers were
Dodgers.
winning, and I want my team to win the election as well.
Whoa.
Playing side.
Yeah, kind of.
Everybody's
I kind of
allowed.
have my favorite.
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani. But we got the books. We have a lot of good books to get to. We got you guys don't know about any of these books yet, but we got the 100 Years, 100 Stories of George Burns. And you guys didn't know who George Burns was.
Right.
Do you know him now that you're looking at a picture of him?
No, I've
Name's
heard
familiar.
the name. Yeah.
He has these weird glasses
He's
that
very
kind
handsome.
of a lot of older ladies wear now. You
Yes.
know? It's kind of a stylish older lady glasses.
And New York lesbians.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And then he smokes cigars is important.
That's
And
what he's
then-
known for.
Yeah.
Got it.
And his voice is like,
Got
he's
it.
like, whoa, blah, 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 like he sounds.
Are you
like
going to
he
read
smokes.
in that voice?
Maybe. I try to do a light voice, you know what I mean? Don't overcommit to the voice because you might bail on it or whatever, but feel free to bail on it as well. But
But don't
it will
do
crush your soul and confidence if you bail on it. But yeah. Do we want to read? I'll read the. Oh yeah, and someone had signed it. They gave it to someone for their 80th birthday.
To Dad.
Yeah.
Aw.
So I'll read the flap just so everyone can get used to what the thing is. This is 100 Years, 100 Stories. The incredible George Burns celebrates his 100th birthday with a priceless gift to his fans, like me. A collection of the stories that have made him one of America's national treasures, like Nicolas Cage. George Burns' career has spanned the history of modern show business. He has starred in big-time vaudeville, in radio, television, the movies, and the recording industry, and on the nightclub stage. Two ands. That's weird.
And.
His books have topped bestseller lists for years. Now, this beloved show business centenarian,
Oh,
you guys
good
know what that
word.
means?
Yes.
100-year-old person, yeah. Serves up a treat for his fans in a book of his favorite and funniest stories, each and every one from his own private stock. Do you guys have stocks of stories?
Mm-mm.
We should write them out if it,
But I'm only like 29% of his age.
Exactly. But you could have 29 of the stories by now.
Ooh,
But
interesting.
I bet he accumulated them later. But,
I'm sure there was one year where he did a lot.
yeah.
And another year he skipped.
From recollections of events in his past to tales about friends and performers who have crossed his path, including Al Jolson, Groucho Marx, Jack Benny, Bob Hope, and Margaret, and Goldie Hawn.
And
the
Margaret.
youngest person mentioned. George Burns brings his unique dry humor to each unforgettable story. Laughter delivered with the inimitable puff of a cigar. 100 Years, 100 Stories will stand as an enduring record of the wit and charm of one of the greatest entertainers. The incredible George Burns is the author of Gracie, a love story, All My Best Friends, and 7 other books.
Oh.
So yeah, he's like really into his wife, and they do comedy together, and her name's Gracie.
Precious.
And so, who wants to go first? You're gonna go first?
Sure. Whoever.
All right. I'm gonna go turn up the air.
Okay. You want me to wait for you?
No.
All right. This is story number 31. During the time I was doing the Burns and Allen show on radio, most of the variety shows were using big bands. Our band leader was Artie Shaw,
Oh, he's good.
When we moved the show from New York to California, Artie had a problem with James Petrillo. Do we know him?
That's not a famous person.
Well, he was then head of the Musicians Union.
Oh.
Okay. He's sort of a, businessman.
One of the key men in Artie's band was his trumpet player, and naturally, Artie wanted to bring him along to California, but Petrillo wouldn't allow it.
What did you do?
I'm glad you asked. Artie was very upset because this trumpet player was extremely important to him, but Petrillo wouldn't give in.
Dang.
The day after we arrived in California, I was on my way to the Brown Derby restaurant to have a drink.
I've been to the fake one.
There's a fake Brown Derby restaurant?
It used to be at, if you went to MGM Studios in Orlando, like at Disney World, they had a fake Brown Derby.
Oh,
because they tore down the real one because it was shaped like a Brown Derby, but then they rebuilt it, but I don't think it's there anymore.
Just have some of your water.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like a replica.
Yeah, but it's like a weird restaurant where they invented maybe the Cobb salad or something like that, or
History.
sort of a salad restaurant for... And maybe they have, it's one of those places where they have the caricatures of people. It's
Got it.
Hollywood.
Like Carnegie Deli.
Yeah,
or what have you. Sardi's. All right. On my way to the Brown Derby restaurant to have a drink.
Sorry, it was a funny tangent that we got back to. All right, we're here.
Brown Derby's huge. You know what I mean? don't underestimate the Brown Derby as a character in the story.
It was mid-sentence.
Yeah.
So
no, you want to go back. It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. No notes.
And there on the newsstand was a headline that read, Lana Turner divorces Artie Shaw.
Fuck. I did not know Artie Shaw was married to Lana Turner. Dang.
There was a picture of Lana in a sweater, and she looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I know she's super hot. That's the main thing I know about her.
I wish this was a picture book.
Right.
Inside the Derby, there was Artie at the bar having a drink. I knew how bad he must have felt about losing a beautiful girl like Lana, so I put my arm around him and said, Artie, don't take it too hard. Things like that happen to everybody. Artie looked at me and said, to hell with Petrillo. I'll find myself a trumpet player out here.
That's the end?
And that was story 31.
Wow. Yeah, some of them aren't that good. And that's fine.
It was sweet.
It's still fun.
Amusing.
It's fun to hear about stuff.
Amusing.
I mean, you've got 100 stories. They can't all be
Exactly,
winners.
yeah. And I bet that was when he was 31.
I appreciate that he committed to the 100 stories thing, even if some of them are stinkers.
Yeah.
Right. But I think a lot of them, he's like, all right, I gotta do an Artie Shaw story.
Yeah.
He's like, everybody knows me for being vaguely associated with Artie Shaw, maybe? I don't know.
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna do 32. When Gracie and I were doing radio, we hired Tony Martin as our singer. At that time, Tony was very young and had been working as a saxophone player with a small band in Oakland. I don't know who this guy is.
Tony Martin?
Yeah. He sang with a saxophone around his neck, and he'd always play with the buttons on the sax while he was singing because he didn't know what to do with his hands.
Play an instrument with those hands.
Or
Well, he's
pretend
singing.
to.
If you're singing, you can't. I guess you can play piano. Okay, good point. When he came on our show, he was just a singer and didn't need the saxophone. On his first show, he sang well, how do you say that word? Beguine. Can you look it up? What does beguine mean? Begwin?
I turned off my phone because it was buzzing.
I would say
sorry.
Beguine.
Bagwan?
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Big line.
I didn't bring the dictionary. It's too big.
Yeah, for
my
your
luggage.
carry-on.
Yeah. What's your guess for what begin the beguine means?
Begin the beguine.
I don't think it's beguine. I don't know how to say this word, yeah.
Is it YouTube?
Begin.
Beguine. What does it mean?
A popular dance of West Indian origin, similar to the foxtrot.
Okay,
Does that make sense in context?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's begin the beguine. So it's like, do the mambo, or, do the soldier boy.
Got it.
Do the soldier boy.
Sort of, a popular dance. Beguine.
Once again, that is
Begin.
Begin.
We have a fourth person here. And he was so used to playing with his buttons on his saxophone that when he got to the second chorus, he lost his pants.
Wait, why? Can we unpack that a little? Why did he lose his pants?
He was so used to playing with his buttons.
His pant buttons?
So he was playing the buttons on the saxophone.
Yeah.
And he was so used to playing with his buttons that when he got to the second chorus, He lost his pants.
That's kind of funny.
There's a button on your pants.
Okay.
So he's pulling.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
okay,
It's mostly
okay,
a pun.
okay.
I don't really understand if it really happened or not.
But okay,
Understood.
but you have to visualize this man saying it with a cigar in his hand.
Right, no, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like, and you know begin the begin, I guess.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow. And I was there, and Soulja Boy was playing Soulja Boy Tell 'Em. Okay, let's go. 33.
Okay, and that was that.
33. Yeah, that was that.
John-
Is this 2 pages? I'm wondering. Oh, yeah, you got a little bit.
I think it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
33. John P. Medbury was about 5'5", must have weighed 250 pounds,
It's real fat.
and was never stuck without a donut or an answer.
Oh,
Never
cute,
stuck
cute.
without a donut or an answer.
I like
Okay.
that. Before he came to work for me as my head writer, he was
Cool.
writing 2 syndicated humor columns in an office in the Hollywood Plaza Hotel. Working for him was an ambitious young fellow
Cool.
named Frank Williams.
No.
I should explain that beside writing and eating, Medbury would entertain certain young ladies in his office from time to time.
Oh, I don't want to hear about how
Yeah,
which certain.
Well,
Are they famous, maybe?
One day, Mrs. Medbury happened to drop in.
Oh, no.
Party foul.
And while looking for a stamp, she opened the top drawer. We didn't do the tongue twisters.
Oh, yeah, we should do some.
Of Medbury's desk. And there was a pair of black lace panties. Gingerly holding them up, he looked at
I bet he has a good
Medbury
response.
and said coldly, "John, what are these doing here?" Without batting an eye, Medbury angrily called into another office, "Frank, get in here." The bewildered young writer walked in, and Medbury threw the panties at him, saying, "Give these back to your girl. You fired." On her way out, Mrs. Medbury stopped at Frank's desk and said, "Frank, you're not fired. And tell Loverboy it didn't work. He's not as fast as he used to be."
Whoa.
I thought she was
So we
gonna-
know who really wears the pants in the relationship there.
Yeah, I think that her way of dealing with the issue is very admirable.
I
Yeah,
thought-
it's very diplomatic.
Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna lose
Right.
my shit,
Right.
and I'm gonna say a zinger.
I was
Yeah.
hoping she'd have a better line at the end, though.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
I
Wasn't
was
as good as the
building it
donuts,
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying it as if something was to build up, but then it actually kind of let me down,
Yeah.
Well, that's not your fault.
and it's
Yeah.
my fault.
That's George Burns'
That's
fault.
George's fault, yeah.
All right. 34. Medbury. We got another Medbury story.
Yeah, wait, should we look up what he looks like? I'll look it up. Because they said he's really short and fat.
Oh, never not with a donut or an answer. Something like that.
This isn't John P. I gotta put the P in, I guess. No pictures of this guy.
I started with Mr. I don't
No, yeah, you can't find pictures of that guy. All right, it's fine. He's not that famous. I was like, that guy I think I've heard that name. I think he's really famous.
Nah.
Not enough to have pictures of him.
All right. 34. Here we go.
Another
Can we
Medbury.
focus on? Another Medbury
I'm ready.
story.
I'm locked.
Medbury was one of several writers I had in radio.
That's
Later on, when we did our TV show, I remember hiring a very good team of writers named Seaman Jacobs and Fred Fox. I write it that way for 2 reasons.
Number 1.
Fred stuttered, and he never stopped joking about it himself.
Aw.
On the other hand, his partner, whom everyone called C, was very articulate. What made no sense was that at our meetings, it was Freddie who did most of the talking. And when it came to reading one of their 5 or 6 page storylines, it was Freddie who always plowed through it. Once, when I was alone with C, I asked him, "C, you could read those storylines in 1/10 of the time it takes Freddie. Why do you have him do it?" C said, "George, the way Freddie talks, he needs all the practice he can get."
That's us. That's us right now.
Oh, there's more.
That's us right now.
I thought that was
There's more.
that was a good ending, but
It
no,
was.
we're still going.
Yeah. Have you heard them talk? They need all the practice they can get.
Well, I couldn't argue with that. so
That's the end.
so every Monday morning, Freddie would come in and read the storyline. One morning, he was going along as usual when he came to a scene that he got very enthused about. In his excitement, he read through the entire scene without once stuttering. When he finished, I said, "Freddie, do you realize that you just read 3 pages without stuttering?"
Joe Biden, did you realize you just read 3
Freddie's
pages?
eyes widened,
pop.
and he jumped up shouting, "My God, I'm cured."
No.
I still like the other alternate ending better.
What's the only name?
The
just in the middle.
yeah, just that zinger at the end.
Well, I liked the idea that you turn the page and then there's just one more, the hanging line of, well, couldn't argue with that.
My ending, I thought of, it's the guy goes, it takes him 1/10 of the time to do the thing. And then he goes, George, we're paid by the hour. Something like that.
Ooh,
Something
that's
like that.
better.
I
Yeah.
have a
Thank
feeling
you.
that's how one of these ends.
I bet, yeah.
This story could use a punch up.
Yeah. We gotta call John P.
kick.
We gotta do a seance for John P. Medbury. See if he has any punch-ups for these. I'll do one, you'll do one, then we go to the other book. That's my plan.
Slay.
I like it.
I've always been patient with stutterers. Maybe that's because one of my early vaudeville partners, Billy Lorraine, stuttered so badly that it would take him 5 minutes to say, come in.
Oh.
The poor guy could never get out any of the spoken lines in our act. But for some reason, he had no problem when he sang. We've all seen some American Idol auditions like this. Once we were playing the Pantages Theater in Los Angeles and living at the Continental Hotel. I went out to get my hair cut. In those days, I had some. When I got back to the hotel, Billy rushed up to me, all excited. I could see he had news for me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, go on, Billy. Whoop, 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 whoop. He couldn't go on.
Aw.
I said, okay, start over. Page turn. Again. Whoop, 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 whoop. We got a job? I took a shot. We starts with a W.
Took a shot.
He shook his head negatively. So what is it, Billy? I pleaded. Again. Whoop, 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 whoop. I said, sing it, Billy, sing it. And clear as a bell, he sang, we were just robbed.
You could have said anything. I would have
I know, yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you read that one. I would have
Thank
never.
you.
did
Yeah,
that
no,
one
it's
justice.
tough. It's tough. I was like, oh, dang, I gotta sing this. Dang.
Yeah, you really,
It's
you really
beautiful.
Yeah, and then I
delivered.
just did the John Ralphio and
It sounded good.
Do a little run.
Thank you. Dang, he's tough on stutterers. Did more people stutter back then, or is it just the same amount?
Talking was new.
Yeah, okay. In the 50s. Because it's like Joe Biden's always talking about stuttering and stuff. With Corn Pop, he taught Corn Pop how not to stutter.
Oh yeah, corn pop. I forgot
Yeah,
about him.
at the pool that he was the lifeguard at.
Yeah.
Oh. A young black man approached him and was like, can you teach me how to not stutter? Great story.
Where's corn pop now?
I don't know. I think he comes out sometimes.
Oh, does he?
That
Yeah.
night.
I don't know. I think he's like Corn Pop and he just like waves maybe and they're like, oh, we love you, Corn Pop.
Ew. I hope that's true.
I don't know.
36.
I like
We can
it.
pretend.
Yeah.
For those of you who may not remember him, Joe Penner was a burlesque comic who graduated to radio and at one time had a top-rated radio show, for those of you who don't remember.
Yeah.
He was the first one to ask, wanna buy a duck?
Cool.
And he asked it so often on his weekly show that it caught on and became a nationwide catchphrase.
Yeah. What are some nationwide catchphrases we have now? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that?
That's a good one. Nationwide
Catchphrases.
Yeah, I guess just memeable, like viral.
Yeah, just like a meme phrase.
Yeah.
But we'll
Whatever.
think of
I'm
something.
blanking.
Yeah,
We'll think of
we
something.
will.
I'm blanking.
Catch me outside. How about that?
That was a good one. And
Want to
it's
buy a
good.
duck?
Want to buy a duck?
During one of our summer breaks, I took Gracie and our two kids, Sandy and Ronnie,
Oh, they haven't been mentioned yet.
to Hawaii for a week's vacation.
Beautiful pronunciation.
Thank you so much. I'm very stickler on how things are pronounced.
Did it have the apostrophes?
No.
Oh, I like it when it has the apostrophe.
That's how it... When was this published?
90s, 96 maybe?
I think they had the apostrophe by then.
Yeah.
Staying at the same hotel were the Penners and two other couples that we knew. Every day we sat around together at the beach, and although Gracie got the laughs when we performed, I was the one who had to keep our little group in stitches.
Why?
Wait, so when you're funny, you say something stitches. What's the saying when you
You had everyone in stitches.
in
Yeah.
stitches
Yeah. He had to keep them in stitches.
because he's so funny?
Because no one else was doing it, kind of, it sounds like.
I gotta be
She's
the funny
killing
one.
on stage, she's killing with everybody in the conversation.
Imagine me saying,
But
I
he
have
kind
to
of-
keep you guys in stitches.
Yeah, it's also kind of funny because he feels a sort of responsibility. But it sounds like he's kind of, what do you call it? It's because he feels bad about how he was doing on stage.
Okay, he's overcompensating.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah.
I kept waiting for Penner to come
just
up with something. A story, a topper, a funny line, a dirty joke.
I need
Nothing.
a topper. You guys have any toppers?
You guys have any toppers tonight? Not a snicker all week. The last day, going up the elevator in our hotel, this top comedian said to me, I'm never funny in the summer.
And that's that.
The end, dude. Wow. I kind of feel that, yeah.
Okay, nationwide catchphrases.
Yeah.
Want to buy a duck?
I want to buy.
I don't understand want to buy a duck, really.
Why can't I think of anything?
Right. But can you think about what to buy a duck means? Is it just kind of
I've
random?
never heard that before.
It's just someone going like, is there anything I could help you with?
Yeah.
And then
Can I get you some water?
Yeah, and you go, want to buy a duck?
Is that
And
how
then
it-
everybody goes, yeah.
We should try that on older people, and they will think we're very funny.
Yeah, they'll think I'm from a different time period.
Is that how it was used?
We don't know. It just said
Oh,
that
got it.
he started the catchphrase. Let me look what it said. Yeah, he was the first one to ask, want to buy a duck? That's a good question. Who was the first to ask, want to buy a duck? But yeah, so that's the George Burns book. Pretty fun.
I like this man.
Yeah, he's great. He's fun.
I want to story tell better. Like,
Right.
If I could tell
Better
a
than
story.
George Burns?
No, not bad. Yeah, better than him.
Right.
But it makes me want to be more like. It makes me want to be more like, okay, the year,
Right.
like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
I
like
understand.
framing. This he does
Yeah.
it. He's like, you don't know who any of these people are, but you're laughing,
Yeah,
putting them in stitches.
he's putting in
Yeah.
stitches. Yeah. I think the way a good way to improve on that, if you're actually looking to train on that, is watch like old talk shows and
Yeah.
stuff. The way like to get like rhythm and stuff.
That rhythm
But also just like what do you need to say and like what's interesting and what people laugh at.
and how you say it,
Yeah, exactly.
except for reading because you can't
It's
hear
how you
them.
type it.
It's how you type it.
Yeah. So we got the second book, which we've done a couple, and I did cry when I read one of them about being poor on the school bus.
These used to make me cry.
Yeah.
Me
So
too.
also part of it is you could read these and kind of be like, oh, you love your mom?
I'm better than that.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But it's a thing where you kind of fall into it on accident, you know what I mean? So just, something to keep in mind. But also sometimes they are dumb. So it's tough.
Okay.
It's a tightrope. It's a tightrope to walk.
Thank
Sometimes
you for,
we fall off.
preparing us.
I know,
what
yeah.
to expect.
No right way to feel about it.
Right. But yeah, I tabbed a bunch of the good ones, and they're in different sections. And does anybody... Let me think. What should we do first? I'll read the back, I guess. This latest collection of Chicken Soup for the Soul comes to you from the Heartland, the Grand Ole Opry, and the country music capital of the world. It emanates from the hearts and souls of country entertainers, old and new, their loyal fans, and just plain country folks. This treasury identifies the common threads that weave the tapestry of the human spirit, the tradition of family and faith at the heart of America. Within its covers, you will find the simple, sincere nature of country people and the music they treasure.
Aw.
Yeah. There was a CD. It says there's a CD. They didn't have the CD
I
at the
was
thrift
looking at
store.
that.
Yeah.
New CD inside.
And I wonder I think it's just there's one song on the CD. Maybe a couple versions
Someone
of it.
bought it for the CD and threw the book away.
I guess. I think you just separated them and then... Because this is like a book... Sometimes I'll buy books at the thrift store and I'm like, am I the fifth person to own this book?
I think this looks like it's seen some.
Because it's like, it has a $12 price tag and then this $1 price tag over it. And I got it for 50 cents. Because neither of those were from the
And
store
you'll
I
sell
got
it
it
for
from.
25 cents in the.
I mean,
not
I'm
a
going to
lot.
sign it and sell it as part of my my papers to Stanford University for millions of dollars. But,
When it's acquired.
yeah, of course. So wait, I'll give you all the sections and maybe we can focus on one of the sections depending
thematically.
on how y'all feel. Okay, so the first section is on love and kindness. The second section is on family. The third section is the power of faith. The fourth section is living the dream. The fifth is overcoming obstacles and hardships. The sixth is the power of song.
We like living the dream.
Yeah, we
Living
kind
the
of
dream.
silently voted without you.
Nice.
Sorry.
And it's a thing where I wondered, I think that might have been the ones we did last time, but we'll see.
Oh, well, if not...
No, I mean, I think there's plenty in each section, but we
Okay.
may run out, is what I was, like, just warning you. But the funniest part was last time... Oh, yeah, the introduction. Let me read a little bit of the introduction. Because the introduction has... Oh, not the introduction. There's, like, a part that has... Oh, yeah, the acknowledgements? No, it's after the How many... The preface?
The acknowledgments, the introduction,
We'd like to
the
hear
preface.
from you. Yeah. But there was a part that had like a Richard Nixon quote. And it was really weird. Oh yeah, the dedication. Let me read. Oh, do you want to read? Do you guys ever do a Nixon voice? Or do you want to try to do one?
I never have.
No.
You're gonna have to. It's kind of jowly.
What actor plays him in a movie? I can channel that.
What's his face played him in the new
Nixon?
movie? Yeah, in the Nixon one. Nixon and Elvis. I forget who
didn't
that
see
was.
that
A lot of
one.
people play Nixon
Okay.
though, but it's mostly them just kind of doing. He's on Futurama in the little jar. Okay, country music is America. This is Richard Nixon at the reopening of the Grand Ole Opry. Country music is America. It started here. It's ours. It isn't something that we learned from some other nation. It isn't something we inherited, and so it's as native as anything we can find. It comes from the heart of America. It talks about family. It talks about religion, the faith of God that is so important to our country, and particularly to our family life. And, as we all know, country music radiates of this nation's patriotism. It's good for Americans to hear it. We come away better for having heard it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm better for it.
Yeah. Pretty psycho. I think that's kind of a psycho take on just being like, it's good.
Yeah.
You can, it aligns with my values, is why I like it.
It sounds like he was told to say that.
Yeah. Or it's like kind of like a robot or like an
Yeah.
alien being like, country music is important
Yes.
because it touches on religion. Stuff like that. But we were saying Living the Dream. I think Living the Dream's kind of like once you've made it and you're like, I met another guy. Okay. Oh, What It Takes. This one seems good. Who wants to start? Anybody?
I can start.
So we got, let me see what ones we got in Living the Dream. We got What It Takes. We got In the Footsteps of a Good Man. And then, what's this one? Big House. So which one do you want?
Which one is a good start? I guess What It Takes.
What It Takes.
We'll do What It Takes. Okay.
Oh wait, skip to the end and see who wrote it. Or like of the thing.
This one is by Merlin Littlefield.
Merlin. I've never heard of
know
that
who that
person.
is?
No.
I have no idea.
That's a good
But we'll
names
find
to
out.
All right. What It Takes from the section Living the Dream. One of my most memorable experiences took place when I worked as Associate Director of ASCAP in
ASCAP.
Nashville. ASCAP?
That's what they say. Musicians.
At the time, Rod Phelps, one of my Texas friends, asked me to talk with a new guy he was sending to see me. You must understand that in the music business, it's common courtesy to listen to your friends and spend time with the people they send you.
Aw.
Soon after talking with Rod, the new guy dropped by my office and played me some songs. I remember I didn't pull any punches. I told him his songs were only fair. In the middle of our conversation, I was distracted when
Sounds like he was pretty nice.
I mean, he's honest.
Yeah.
I was distracted when one of my writers, a guy with money problems, barged in.
All the writers of all the stories have had writers, which has been fun. Like, all of George Burns' stories are about his writers.
I'm a writer,
this
this is my writer.
Yeah.
I asked my guest to excuse me a moment while he got the writer some paperwork to support a bank loan application. Later, I asked the new guy to keep the writer's situation confidential because it was a private matter. My guest responded, "Man, I recognize that writer. He needs a bank loan?" "Yeah, everybody needs help now and then," I told him. Overhearing the conversation, the guy caught the amount of money that the writer needed. My guest said he made more than that in a week playing in Oklahoma. "If that's the case, you'd better get back on..."
It's country voice, you gotta... It's not gonna be a regular
Oh.
sentence, yeah.
Okay. If that's the case, you'd better get on back to Oklahoma.
There we
Thank
are.
you.
No, a lot of them that we'll read, it's like when it's like a person like talking and then they write down like how they talk, it's kind of tough.
Yeah. You'll never make that kind of money playing the clubs in Nashville. I've got this saying: we create music in Nashville and we sell it in Texas.
Wow.
You can certainly include Oklahoma in there too, I added. The new guy laughed.
Northern Texas.
"Well, I just can't believe that. What if I bring my whole band down here? How many is in your band? I asked. 5. Well, I said, you and 5 other guys will starve to death in Nashville, I predicted. Sensing that I offended my guests, I tried to... No kidding.
I wonder how you sensed that.
I tried to make amends by telling him, those are just the facts in this town.
Shit.
If you want to come here and write, if you want to make it as an artist, it's going to be tough. However, I'll be glad to help you.
Nice.
I'll see you at 9 tomorrow morning, right here in my office. Since my friend Rod sent you to me, I'm going to do what it takes to help you.
Nice.
Later, I learned that my guest had the use of Rod's personal credit cards so the guy could get to Nashville. That's how much Rod believed in his potential.
Wow.
You'll be here at 9, and I'll help you find a place to live, I promised. Well, at 9 the next morning, the Oklahoma guy didn't show.
What?
I waited till about 10:30 before I called Rod and asked if he'd seen him. No, I thought he was with you, was the response.
What? I'm worried.
Me too.
I am worried right now.
I'm really scared.
He has the credit cards?
Yeah.
What?
That's what you're worried about? Not that we can't find this guy, track him down?
Well, he has the credit cards.
I hope he's okay.
Oh, right. You think there might have been an accident.
And then secondary, I hope the credit cards are okay.
Yeah.
I told Rod the guy was supposed to be with me. That bothered Rod because, well, this guy always kept his appointments.
No, wait. Did he die? Wait. What?
That afternoon, Rod called to let me know what had happened.
What?
This guy was all upset with me and was headed back to Oklahoma.
Oh.
I explained
He's okay.
that all I did
Not
was
mentally,
just...
though.
What?
He's okay physically.
We don't know.
Maybe.
I explained that all I did was just tell him the truth. Man, if he can't take the truth, well, I'm sorry. I just told him the way things are in detailed story of what has to be done to make it in Nashville. That was the end of it. Or so I thought.
Or so I thought.
Or so I thought.
About a year later, this Oklahoma guy came back. But instead of seeing me, he walked right past my office and down the hall to talk with my associate. Soon after, the two of them struck a deal. I guess the guy didn't particularly want to see me. A few months later, this associate left ASCAP and opened a publishing company with the guy from Oklahoma. Several months later, I attended a writer's night at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe.
Beautiful.
To my surprise, the Oklahoma guy was filling in for a writer who didn't show up.
Oh.
A few months later, he was signed to Capitol Records and recorded his first album. At that time, the president of Capitol Records was a friend of mine named Joe Smith. I sent Joe the guy's advanced tape and told him to give special attention to this young man. I told Joe this guy was a friend of mine and he was going to be a monster artist. Joe took my advice. Capitol Records spent a ton of money on the new artist and did everything necessary to help him become a huge success. After this guy hit the top, he told everybody who would listen that everything I'd said had been true. Since then, he has thanked me many times. Not long ago, the now legendary country star and I got together. He said, Merle, you remember that first meeting we had in Nashville? Has it already been 10 years? I'll never forget it. This story just goes to show that it takes more than being friends. It takes talent, persistence, focus, and hard work to survive and become a superstar in the entertainment business. Just ask my friend Garth Brooks.
Oh my God!
Did you read ahead? Yeah. She read ahead. She knew what she was gonna. She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, that's when you get to read the name. You get to maybe see that the last word.
Wanted to make sure it wasn't a sad one. Yeah. It did make me a little teary though.
It's nice.
I'm glad he didn't hold it against him. Yeah. That he blew him off that one time.
Yeah. But then he kept saying the guy from Oklahoma, the Oklahoma guy, and all I could think was just call him an Okie.
Oh, right. Sure. That's a slur, kind of.
What?
I mean, it's like not. You're not supposed to say that. Yeah,
she said it.
I know. Yeah.
But she said it.
But it's like it's
the musical.
I know. Yeah. I'm just saying it's like and not. It's just derogatory. I would say because it's like when like Woody Guthrie or whatever, like people during the Dust Bowl would go from Oklahoma to California.
Yeah.
And everyone in California is like, bro, y'all gotta stop coming here. There's way too many of y'all coming because of this Dust Bowl thing. And they're like, y'all gotta leave. We hate y'all Okies. Like Okie. And then it was also like. I don't know if it's super offensive for people, especially from Oklahoma, but it's like people from Arkansas would be called Okies, and like people from all of just like.
But what is the college? The
Sooners?
Oh, that's what I meant. A boomer, a booner,
boomer Sooner.
Booner Sooner.
Yeah, Sooners is so funny because it's like they're bragging about something, and then you like you're like, oh, there was like. Y'all like went in before you were allowed to go in. Yeah, and it's like that's what
too soon.
That's what the thing is named after. The cheaters?
Yeah,
the Oklahoma cheaters.
You're supposed to call people from Oklahoma Oklahomies.
Oh, beautiful.
That's actually what I meant.
Oklahoma. I mean, a lot of people from Oklahoma might be a little upset when they hear it. No, I don't think anyone cares now. But I mean, in the 40s, it was derogatory.
That was what this
Let the record show, I have not said the O word. I will not be saying the O slur.
The record.
I'll say it. I'll say Okie.
You guys are saying
Man,
it.
fuck them Okies.
I haven't said
Go
it.
back to that panhandle ass fucking
Well,
state.
I don't know who I'm offending, and I'm sorry.
Right. But do
Don't.
you want to do the next one?
Yes, I will. Is this a good one?
Yeah, I need the ones that are... That one seems long.
Oh, it is.
The later one might be shorter if you...
But is it okay? So we're still living the dream.
Yeah.
Okay, great. This one is written. Oh,
You'll say...
oh, it's so long. I can read
It's
fast.
not that long.
This is a Monty Byram.
Money.
Byram.
Oh, Money Byram.
Yeah,
That's
if it's
weird,
country,
yeah.
Byram.
Yeah, no, you have to just, say
It's
it
Monty
as
Byram.
stupid as possible, yeah. Monty Byram.
Big house. Do what you love. The money will follow. Marcia Sinitar. That's definitely not how you say it.
Marcia.
Marcia
I don't know. Yeah, I never heard that person.
Senator.
Senator.
Sure, yeah,
It is
senator.
probably Senator, yeah.
My partner David Newhouser and I have been playing together on and off for 20 years.
It's really funny that they said partner a lot in the writing context,
partner.
but it is like, yeah, it's funny to think about.
When we decided to make a boombox recording of our new songs, we were living in a big house in Van Nuys, California, rehearsing with the band.
Oh, I read this one. This one's good.
Do you want me to switch?
No, this one's great. It's just one where they're like, we loved it. It's great.
The next day, our keyboard player came over with the tape. We recorded, "You guys have got to listen to this." It was magic. Dave and I
Yes.
looked at each other and said, "This is what we've been waiting for." For years, I would come to Bakersfield and play with whatever country band Dave had going. We were too country for rock and roll in the early days. We were also too bluesy for country.
Right.
Or too country for the blues.
Right.
But every time I came and sat with Dave, the same thing would happen. Over and over. The crowd would go nuts, and we would have a ball. I'm just going into the George Burns voice.
And we would have a ball.
And we would have a ball. We would
That's
do,
showbiz. That's a showbiz voice.
That's showbiz. We would do these great country songs and put a blues twist to them just for fun. Many nights, we'd be sitting there after a gig, and Dave would say, "We've got to go to Nashville."
I was about to ask, are you guys aware of the Bakersfield sound and the Bakersfield country movement?
No.
We're not.
It's like, there's the thing called the Bakersfield sound. So it's like Buck Owens and like Merle Haggard are from like that part of California, and there's like a bunch of like weird big like club thing, you know what I mean, where it's like a big country dance room thing, like
Opry?
maybe in the no, it's like where you would go to drink and stuff. Like the Grand Ole Opry is like you're like in a little auditorium and stuff, and you don't drink. But this would be like dance hall sort of stuff. But it's like they're kind of doing a little more like the electric guitar is a little like edgier sort of thing. It's sort of the beginning of like an outlaw country sort of thing. But they're from California, which is
Van Nuys,
interesting to think
California.
about, yeah.
Well, Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. they're in Van Nuys going, I wish we were in Bakersfield.
Yeah, we were from Bakersfield. I always had the same reply. Are you kidding? Those cats in Nashville won't get it. Dave would also always mention another name along with the conversation in Nashville, and that was Tony Brown, president of MCA Records. Dave said he'd get
Any of the
all what
company
we
presidents.
do. I'm the president of MCA. I want to be the president of something.
Sure, do it. Love that for you.
And I just thought my partner was nuts all those years. The whole big house story got started at a place called Trout's. This bar is over 40 years old and plays live country music 7 nights a week. It's the place where Merle Haggard and Buck Owens got started. So you said you read this before.
Right.
And you cited the two people.
Those are also just the most famous guys. Those are the most famous guys from Bakersfield.
The town is actually Oildale, a suburb of Bakersfield. Okay. Oildale isn't where the people who own the oil wells live. It's where the people who work the wells
I think it's where
live.
roughnecks. It's a lot of roughnecks
A lot of roughnecks.
in Bakersfield.
It was a tough crowd, but they knew their country music. A typical comment would be, "Y'all right, son."
I'm sorry, what?
It says,
Excuse me, sir?
you're all right, son, but it says, "You're all right, son," with the AW.
Ah.
You're all right, son.
You're all right, son, but you ain't no Merle Haggard.
Y'all right, son.
It's just Merle.
Yeah.
It's not Merrill.
Merle.
It's like with a U.
Merle.
Yeah. Like
You-
girl. Rhymes with girl.
But I'm not that far off.
I know. I was
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Merrill
I'm not worried about it.
Like, more like Streep.
Like Merrill Lynch. Yeah. Meryl
or,
Streep.
Or Lynch.
Merle.
The
Merle.
two Merrills.
Streep and Lynch.
Yeah.
Finally, we got an opportunity to play the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville.
That was from the other story. Mm-hmm. That's where they had the writers meeting, and he just filled it. The thing about the writers meeting earlier, where they were like, "And I filled in for him at the writers." It's like, what is the? I can't even tell like how they're sitting.
Yeah.
Or like, is there a table?
Yeah, they're not giving us enough.
But I think we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
As big country.
Well, we're
music
kind of
fans.
jumping around. Maybe we would have
Yeah.
learned if we read an earlier.
Is
I don't
there
think so.
an appendix?
I said maybe. I said maybe.
Oh, okay.
Just an idea.
We traveled there in a minivan. You can imagine what 6 big guys in their gear looked like in this small van! Exclamation point. We drove on east with our feet in each other's noses. When we got to the Bluebird, we didn't think anyone would show. We were
Wow.
surprised when quite a few did, and we got a standing ovation. So we came back to California and told our manager, Robbie Randall, that things went great in Nashville. At the time, we were making a tape of these things we did and thought maybe we'd make a record and release it ourselves. I like a sentence that is train of thought.
Yeah, they go, and.
At the time, we were making a tape of these things we did and thought maybe we'd make a record and release it ourselves. I don't know. It's just like, it's like nice.
Yeah, a lot of them in the country music thing, you're like, oh, you don't write a lot.
No,
oh, you're not like, this is like maybe the first thing you've written. Okay, cool.
On our second trip to Nashville, we played the Ace of Clubs. We still
that's a
didn't
cute
know
name. That's such a
That
cute
is
name.
the Ace of Clubs.
Because they're called clubs. And it's the Ace
Yeah.
of Clubs.
Oh, I got it.
I didn't think it's
No,
really
it's
blowing my
really-
mind.
it's
I think
really
there might
good.
be a third meeting I'm not even getting, but
We still didn't know what would happen or who would show up. A buzz had started in the town that there was a tape we made. We were lucky to have volunteer advanced men to help us out. People like Merlin.
that was the guy from the other story, Merlin.
Merlin Littlefield.
Yeah, that was the guy who wrote the other story.
Yeah, that's when I read one I read.
Merlin would drive up around Nashville. Merlin would drive around Nashville with his top down, tape turned up, pull people over. So when we got to the Ace of Clubs, everyone in town showed up. There were
Because he was just driving
10.
around playing the music out of his car.
He's
really
like, "Come
loud.
on, come on."
And everybody's like, "What's his? Are they playing?"
They're like, "Let's follow him to
They
his
were all
venue.
they were all pulling out
Dang.
Shazam.
We're gonna go to a second
Nashville.
destination with this guy."
Dang.
There were 10 record labels there that night in a packed house. We put on a whole show. But you have to shout with an exclamation point. You gotta read my text messages. I'm exclamation point, exclamation point.
The exclamation point is a thing where I'm always like not looking at the end of the sentence when I start the sentence,
Yeah.
and I'm always just like, "Oh, dang, there was an exclamation
And
point."
they were
dang.
excited about it. Before we got halfway back to California, we had offers about the only record company that didn't show up at the act of clubs. Is that a typo?
Yeah.
In Nashville
really
was
editors.
MCA Records. As soon as we got back to Bakersfield, Tony Brown of MCA Records called up saying that he wanted to see the band. He flew out to Los Angeles to meet with us. He even paid for a private rehearsal room at Sir Studios. Considering we were flat broke when we returned, that was a real blessing. So we had the private showcase on a big stage in this big room for an audience of just 2 people, MCA's Terry Brown and Larry Willoughby. Not the most comfortable situation for any band. Luckily, my car had been stolen that day. What? Luckily, my car had already been stolen that day,
He's joking.
so I wasn't worried about the little thing like a private audition for 2 major recordings. We started off with our hit, Cold Outside. About 3 songs into the showcase, president of MCA Los Angeles, Jay Boberg, came in, and Tony Brown stopped us. Play that song, Cold Outside, again. I really dig that sound.
Baby, it's cold outside.
That broke the ice, and we cut
Ice. What did you say?
That broke the ice, and we cut loose.
Wow.
Did what we did every night. After we got done, Tony said, "I want to sign you to MCA." It was pretty overwhelming. He not only signed us, he released the demo tape we made. We're the only band that has ever done that on MCA. He
Whoa.
didn't change a thing. It was a dream come true to co-produce our own record with Peter Bunetta and have Tony give us the freedom to just set up, dial up some great guitar tones, and do it live.
Bakersfield's all about that guitar tone.
This has been a fantastic year. We've been out touring with everybody. Colin Ray, Patty Loveless, Merle Haggard,
Nailed it.
Black Hawk, Dwight
band.
Yoakam,
Oh, Dwight, I love
Travis
Dwight.
Tritt,
Whoa,
Leroy
Travis Tritt.
Parnell, and many others. We've been treated great.
The other Travis Tritt.
I don't know who that is.
I got rice cooking in the microwave.
Oh my God.
He says that.
What
Sounds
what
good.
year is
Like
this?
98 or something. He
Oh.
goes, "It's a great day to be alive."
Cooking rice in a microwave.
Like Minute
That's the
Rice.
first line. It's a great first line.
The number one new selling band in the country in 1997. If I had just read one more line, I know what year it was.
It is so funny about books because it's like
They answer our question.
Yeah, you're like, what is that? And you'll like look it up or something on your phone, and then you read a sentence later. Like, fuck,
The
I should've just
context,
read
the context.
book. Dang, the book is so smart.
There's something about you saying microwaving rice that felt too modern for what we're talking
I
about.
know. Yeah, no. This one I was thinking, wait, what year is this happening in? Like the
1997?
tape.
And we'll be heading down to Europe soon, where we're also doing real well.
Yeah, we're heading down to Europe.
We're gonna head down to Europe soon. See you there.
So sick to be wrong geographically about the direction.
Staying the course and being true to the roots of the music we make is like having a family identity. What we have always wanted to do, and finally are doing, is bringing everyone into the big house.
Wow, the big house.
Big house.
It's
With
so
lots
big.
and lots of room.
I like that.
Big table.
With lots and lots of food.
Lots of food.
Yeah, sure. Alright, I'll read a short one. This will be, I'll read two short ones. This one's called, this is from The Power of Faith. I'm just going to do a Power of Faith one.
Okay.
Screw it.
Take us to church.
This is called Nuns in the Country.
I already love it.
It's by Dan Clark. Two nuns were driving down a country road when they ran out of gas.
This feels like a joke.
It is.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
They walked to a farmhouse, and a farmer gave them some gasoline. But the container he had was an old bedpan.
Oh, yucky.
The nuns were happy to take whatever they were offered, because they're really chilling nuns.
They're super cool.
And returned to their car. As they were pouring the gasoline from the bedpan into the tank of their car, a minister drove by. He stopped, rolled down his window, and said, "Excuse me, sisters. I'm not of your religion, but I couldn't help admiring your faith."
Hey, I like it.
That was good, yeah.
That's nice.
He's like, "Are y'all peeing in that car? Are y'all just peeing in that car right now?"
That's good. Wholesome.
Thank you.
Wholesome.
Yeah. Is it? Maybe not. Maybe the least wholesome one yet, because it's about pee-pee.
Mine was wholesome.
I think pee is wholesome.
Okay.
Mine was
Beautiful,
like-
beautiful to hear.
Mine was like everything worked out great, and I love my friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
yeah.
mine was everything turned out great, and I love Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
So they've all been
Garth
wholesome.
Brooks was there. Let me see.
I wish every single story in this book ended with "Just ask Garth Brooks."
Yeah. Oh, this will be a good one to finish because we were talking about one of these characters earlier. Okay. It's called Achy Breaky Heart.
Who's it gonna be? I wonder.
It's written by Bruce Birch, not Billy Ray Cyrus, but I think it'll be about them writing it together. Okay. Don Van Tress wrote Achy Breaky Heart in early 1990. At that time, Don was hanging wallpaper for a living. He began the song while driving around in his van from one job site to another. As Don tells it, and then this is a quote from Don, "I spent about 80% of my time on the road driving between jobs. Most of that time was spent writing. I remember singing in the chorus of Achy Breaky Heart into a little tape recorder and thinking I had something pretty good. When I got home that night, I pulled out my new guitar and amplifier I had gotten for Christmas of 1989. The new guitar had really inspired my writing something I had been pursuing since 1963 with little success. And the signature guitar riff on the song came pretty quickly. When I finished the song that night, some people may think this is crazy, but I distinctly remember having a clear vision of little kids singing and dancing.
Oh, all right.
It was overwhelming, and I felt then that Achy Breaky Heart was going to be special.
Aww.
It was ravaged by the critics." Travis, that's now it's not the quote. Now it's the other guy talking about the quote. It was ravaged by the critics.
Damn.
Travis Tritt said aloud what many other country artists were whispering under their breath. That this song did not represent country music, nor did Billy Ray Cyrus have any right to call himself a country artist.
Holy cow.
Ooh.
But Billy Ray's fans didn't care what the critics or Travis said. Travis Tritt. They turned out in droves at his concert and at the record stores. The Some Gave All album soared past platinum sales of 1 million and continues selling today with a total sales figure of close to 10 million. In the letters we received from Billy Ray Cyrus's fans, they spoke of how Achy Breaky Heart had miraculously helped cure physical ailments, end lonely bouts of depression, and even served as the impetus for one woman's 100-pound weight loss.
What?
Oh.
What is their justification for any of this?
I mean, it's just a fan letter,
It's
and you're
curing
like,
them?
Yeah.
It's curing their ailments.
You can be inspired. Do you ever get inspiration from music to do things?
Not that's cured my ailments.
Just to
I love it.
Right. It's someone that's connecting on music on a much deeper level than you.
I'm excited by that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 100-pound weight loss. Okay. Many people wrote that they had never been country music fans until they heard Billy Ray and were converted by his rock-tinged, twangless vocals. In quotes, twangless. Scores of young people from toddlers to teenagers, traditionally not a prime listening audience for country music, were infected by the Cyrus virus.
That's Cyrus. We have that growing up from his damn daughter.
From Miley. Okay. One of these new young fans was 11-year-old Brooke Gall of Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. Brooke hung Billy Ray posters all over her bedroom, where she spent hours listening to his music. She wore Billy Ray t-shirts and watched CMT, Country Music Television, eagerly awaiting each time they would air a Billy Ray video. Brooke Gall was like millions of other preteen girls, a Billy Ray fanatic. But unlike most of the other girls, Brooke was different.
Oh.
Of course she was.
Unlike most of the girls, she was different. Those are just the same sentence.
She was
right?
indeed a special fan, for Brooke has Down syndrome.
Oh.
Got you, Shannon.
But to say,
I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking.
unlike
We got it.
you,
yeah.
unlike you.
They repeat themselves. Yeah. One of the more serious characteristics of Down syndrome can be heart defects.
Oh.
Brooke had her first heart surgery at 16 months of age when doctors repaired a hole between the chambers of her heart.
Now we're crying.
Her second heart surgery took place on September 24th, 1992, just 3 months after her 11th birthday. Brooke had contracted a virus.
This is really long.
Which attacks the heart. The virus caused scar tissue to form on the walls of her heart valve. Surgery was scheduled to repair the valve, or, if necessary, replace it. Doctors decided the valve had to be replaced. The procedure would be risky, with Brooke facing a 50-50 chance of surviving. Brooke traveled to the University Hospital in Syracuse, New York, 90 miles from her home in Susquehanna. Her mom and stepdad, Mr. and Mrs. Scott Cooper, checked into the Ronald McDonald House near the hospital so that they could be by Brooke's side for support. The day Brooke was admitted to the hospital, she wore her favorite outfit. Not a lacy dress or a fancy skirt and blouse, but her prized possession, a Billy Ray Cyrus Achy Breaky t-shirt.
Aww.
Her family anxiously awaited as surgery began. Hours later, the operation was successfully completed. Brooke was placed on a respirator and given morphine. Now, her family began perhaps the most difficult wait to see if Brooke's young body could survive the stress of the operation.
I'm really sad right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna end on a downer.
But I think Billy Ray Cyrus might show up
Okay,
at some
we're waiting
point.
for him to cameo.
I know. I think he's just gonna. I think there's gonna be a Cyrus Ex Machina sort of situation.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, they're like, and then they revealed who the surgeon was. It was Billy Ray Cyrus himself
They said,
and
who,
Jesus.
Who do you think gave you the heart?
Yes. Okay. Brooke was unresponsive the first day after the surgery. The second day came and went. Brooke remained on the respirator, unresponsive. On the third day, still no signs of consciousness. Late on the fourth day, following the surgery, the doctors grew increasingly concerned about Brooke's failure to respond. They discussed doing a tracheotomy, another surgical procedure that would tax Brooke's already fragile body. The doctors finally asked the family if they could think of something, anything that the family could bring in that Brooke might possibly respond to. Brooke's family had exactly what the doctor ordered.
Oh, yeah.
The Some Gave All cassette by Billy Ray Cyrus. On the fifth day, as Brooke was on the downside of her dose of paralyzer, her family watched as they started the cassette on Achy Breaky Heart. After not moving for 5 days, Brooke literally, in seconds, began to sway her arms in a dancing motion while still in the hospital bed on the respirator. Within an hour, Brooke was off the respirator, sitting up in her bed and asking for some Ronald McDonald's French fries.
Woo!
We love French fries.
French fries.
I saw I was like, you were reading in the other page, and I saw the word McDonald's. I was like, where's McDonald's going?
Right. Well, it's a Ronald McDonald house.
Okay.
She got it admitted to the Ronald McDonald house. Yeah. Are they really giving a lot of people in the hospital French fries? That's kind of funny.
Sodium.
Yeah. At 4 a.m. the following morning, Brooke was still wide awake and had all the nurses in the cardiac unit enthusiastically boogieing with her to Billy Ray's music. A short time later, Brooke had recuperated enough from her surgery to leave the hospital. As she was walking out of the hospital, she was wearing yet another special t-shirt one her family had custom made for her during her hospital stay. The words they had imprinted on the shirt said what Brooke's smile reflected. My achy breaky heart is all better now. Once Brooke had fully recuperated from her operation, she had one thing on her mind. Meeting Billy Ray Cyrus.
She managed
in person. Brooke's grandmother wrote Billy Ray Cyrus's manager, Jack McFadden, and told him the story of Brooke's miraculous recovery. Billy Ray was to be in Binghamton, New York on November 3rd.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
We're in New York.
Fuck, we can get to Binghamton. For a concert. Arrangements were made for Brooke and her family to attend the show and meet Billy Ray Cyrus backstage. Their tickets were 3 rows from the stage, but evidently Billy Ray knew where his biggest fan was sitting that night. Brooke's mom says Billy Ray spent 90% of the concert right in front of Brooke. He even tossed one of his coveted towels, used to wipe his brow, directly to Brooke.
Aww.
Dang, the coveted towels. Afterward, the entire family went backstage. Brooke was beyond thrilled at meeting her idol, but she was not shy. She asked to sing Achy Breaky Heart together with Billy Ray.
It's beautiful.
There possibly was never been a more touching duet.
I'm gonna. Is it recorded? Can I look it up?
Probably not. It's
Is
the
this
90s.
real?
I think so.
Okay.
Who knows? I know.
Just from
Our
someone's
story's real.
imagination.
Yeah, that would be cool. It's a good one to make up. Yeah. There possibly has never been a more. Oh yeah.
Billy Ray fanfiction.
Yeah. Slash. Yeah. Brooke then presented Billy Ray with a rose she had brought to the concert. Billy Ray seemed genuinely moved.
I can only hope.
He proved it by asking, Brooke, do you like flowers? When Brooke replied yes, Billy Ray scooped up every rose he had been given that night by hundreds of fans and gave them all to Brooke. As Brooke left the arena that night, she was smiling just as she had been when she left the hospital a year earlier. She was once again wearing a t-shirt. A picture of Billy Ray Cyrus was on the front, and on the back was the title of her favorite song, Achy Breaky Heart. A simple, childlike song which had touched millions, but perhaps saved the life of one. Brooke Gall.
I've never seen you cry. Oh, my achy breaky heart.
Achy breaky heart.
Well, Billy Ray Cyrus is not well liked anymore.
I know, yeah, but he was really nice.
This was the 90s, though.
It was the
really
90s. It was a different
That
time.
one time he was so nice, though.
Think of Brooke.
Yeah, but I can only hope he was moved.
Right, I know. Yeah, the cutest thing ever happened, and he acted regular. So,
Ugh,
there it is.
Billy Ray
Thank you
fanfic.
for sharing your books with us.
Thank you guys for... Oh, and there's a picture of a guy in a tornado. There's a cowboy in a tornado comic, and it says, "Whoa, this is gonna make a great song."
When life hands you a lemon, make lemonade.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's a good one.
That's a
to
good
close
one.
out on. But thank you guys so much for sharing this with me.
Thank you.
A nice cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cry 5 times a day. That's my recommendation.
What the hell?
Have a good one, y'all.